So welcome today, guys, to the video that we are having for the maintenance program for the 20-week challenge and anyone that will be tuning into this podcast. Today, I've got special guest, Sally. I work with Sally at Pivotal Physiotherapy and Pilates, and we're both health nuts, and we have regular discussions at work about our health and well-being. And the thing that Sally has introduced to me is Grassland Nutrition, which offers a range of organic grass-fed beef organ supplements, including liver, heart, and kidney products, as well as blends with kelp, which is something I'm interested in talking to you about today. And these products are rich in essential nutrients like vitamin B12A and iron. I don't normally endorse products, but myself and Kylie have been taking this product for around about 2 months now, and we've noticed significant changes. So I've spoken to Sally to become an affiliate with this program, particularly because it's Australian made, it's Adelaide based, and it's all organic as well. So Sally, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me on, Jo.
And we're just going to briefly say Olaf is your partner, and his parents, this is their business, originally from Denmark, and their original product was a pate business. Obviously, over the years, pate is very, very popular, and we also, as kids, used to eat a lot of steak and kidney pie from Granny and lamb's fry and all those things that we hated. Let's talk about the family business. It was established here in Adelaide, and how the product came about.
Great. Well, thanks for that wonderful introduction. Kel and Inga, who are the founders of Grassland Nutrition, Olaf, my partner's parents, they hail from Denmark, and they were beef limousine farmers for over 40 years. They came across from Denmark and were running a couple of farms at one stage in rural New South Wales. And Kel is always looking for opportunities. He's very entrepreneurial, and he saw quite readily upon coming across here that pate wasn't on the daily table like it was in Denmark as a real kind of staple. And so knowing how nutritious that baked Danish liver pate was, he set about trying to produce something similar himself. And they basically sold their pates in that Danish style, which is wonderful. You can eat chunks of it. You don't have to have it with bread or toast or it was very popular, and he then went to commercialize it, but came across too many issues. There were too many barriers in place. So put it down for a while, came back to it, and put the feelers out for something that would be more shelf stable, that would be able to kind of deliver to people in a convenient form what they need for their essential nutrients. And then eventually we were introduced to a freeze dryer, and this freeze dryer was setting up at the time. So we were one of their first clients, and they're in Tasmania, and they still do all of our freeze drying. And we had products on the shelf from 2017, probably with about a handful of products. And in the last year, we have doubled that product range because people are educating themselves more on how whole foods can actually really help them with their overall wellness, providing that kind of real stable, strong foundation.
So they used like pate as like a condiment, didn't they?
Yes.
In Denmark. So that was
right.
always eaten. And in Australia, they are really only very rarely do you see it in maybe a cheese platter or something like that. Not something that people eat all day, right?
Yeah.
So obviously this product we found, obviously we've got more energy. We don't get fatigued as much. And being in the age group that we are, 50 and 60, we are finding it certainly has given us more zest in life. Kylie obviously is vegetarian. Now, trying to talk her into eating or taking something that's animal based basically got to the point of how can I help my diet? How can I get more vitamins in? I said, well, you don't eat an animal product, and you need especially the aminos and the vitamins. So obviously it happened very quickly for her. There's a reason for that, right? If she hasn't had those sort of aminos and stuff in her body before, the noticeable changes were quite higher than mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her body would have been screaming out for those types of nutrients as well. She would have felt quite depleted, and probably her energy would crash in the afternoon. She may have been kind of more susceptible to getting viruses, and with the
Yeah.
sheer amount of clients that she see patients that she sees on the regular, yeah, there would have been probably a regular cycle of her,
Yeah.
yeah, petering out and picking up things.
Yeah. And as I know, you were quite vegetarian before, and now you've tell us a little bit of the story about when you met Olaf and some of the issues that you had. Now, we're not going to diss vegetarians here, but it's so important to understand that without animal product in your diet, you are missing out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So give us a quick rundown of that, of what you found and your
Yeah, sure.
experience. Mm.
Yeah, well, I think going back way back in history, I was vegan for I think 2.5 years. I was vegetarian for 12 myself.
Mhm.
I had anorexic issues for a long, long time. And just being a highly stressed person, I think, and being an empath,
Mhm.
yeah, I think my gut copped it a lot. So much so that when I met Olaf, um, uh, online dating, I said to him, I think it was probably the second date, I could die.
Mm.
Um, and I'd be all right with that because I can't go on like this.
Yeah.
Um, and I felt like I couldn't be in a room with a lot of other people, just in case, I'd have a flare up, and it could happen. We're talking pain, distension, gas,
Mm.
diarrhea, the whole gamut. And this went on prior to me meeting Olaf for about 5 years, and I tried absolutely everything. So he's he didn't run a mile. He's good like that. And he said, look, I want to run a test with you for the next 2 weeks. If you just trust me, um, I ate meat with a bit of salt, drank water, and nothing else.
Wow.
I will admit, because that slideshow is on our YouTube channel. And I did fall off the wagon with a glass of wine and a square of dark chocolate, nothing else. And I felt incredible after two
Mm.
weeks. I wasn't entirely healed,
Mm.
um, but the difference was marked, like
Mm.
really, really marked. And then I started incorporating the products as well.
Yeah.
And for me, as I've explained to you before, that was quite far-reaching because I wasn't eating offal at the time. And that just helped further stabilize and strengthen my gut
Mm.
and help me with my brain fog and my I guess just how my mood swings were going.
Can I ask a question too? Because working in a women's health realm and working with Kylie for so long,
Mhm.
there's definitely, and I'm going to ask you this question as well, just in case, there's definitely a correlation between all of this you're saying with young women, especially ones that choose a vegetarian or vegan diet. How did that go with the reproductive system? Or did you not know because you weren't bleeding? Because obviously there's a whole heap of nutrients and stuff that a woman needs, especially when she's passing that on to babies later on in life. How
Yeah,
did that affect you? And endometriosis as well is a massive problem.
yeah.
And there's a correlation between that and young girls, excess of alcohol, not eating at all, or the wrong things, and especially going vegan and vegetarian. How did that
Mm.
affect you?
Yeah, well, it's like just one whammy over another. I didn't bleed for 8 years at all. And then my periods were intermittent. And whenever I'd have a smear, I'd be asked, the stock standard questions, how's your cycle? How heavy is it? And I'd say, well, no 3 months are the same. I had PCOS. Didn't have endometriosis, but
PCOS is another big one at the moment. Yeah.
yeah, Yeah, definitely. And it's getting the foundation right, and just being kind to your body, and not grabbing meals here and there, and not flogging yourself with exercise. It's just having that whole balance. It's coming back to those five
Five
pillars again.
pillars.
Yeah, which
Which
is
is a new, yeah, which is a new education with this program. So those of you who haven't got on my program yet, get on it. I'll leave the links below. But the five pillars of health obviously is so important. So your nutrition, your water, de-stressing, sleep, and movement. Let's talk about some of the products and movement. We're on the cardio at the moment. Tell us a little bit about this product, because obviously this has also got coenzyme 10 in it, which is good for heart health, which is what I love about this product, because I do have heart issues from menopause, and obviously this product here. So let's talk about this product in particular that we're on at the moment.
Yeah, sure thing.
And how this helps. So heart function, liver, kelp, and blend powder. So let's go.
Yeah. Okay. So we introduced these products. So this is one of six. Yeah. And for
At the
each,
back there.
yeah, six of the products, we have a capsule format, and we have a powdered format, and they're really just whatever is going to be more convenient for you, whatever your preference is, right? So we say 1.5 teaspoons maximum for the powder, and between 3 and 6 capsules of the capsule tub. There's 180, there's 3,000 milligrams in there. If you know that you're kind of really running on a low ebb, start high, or 3 might see you through. I think you tend to adjust according to what your needs are, really. Maintenance would be 2 to 3, right? Really depleted, 6.
6, yeah.
It takes about 3 weeks for it to get into your system.
Yep.
So these blends that we came up with were as a result of the frequently asked questions that we were getting. People knew that organs were good for them, but they didn't know how to take them. And the main issues that were coming out were heart health, allergies, and histamine sensitivity. People just wanting a general kind of all-rounder for male, female, and iron support for low iron, and then building muscle and endurance too. And then just to when you've lost your mojo, when your immunity is really low, you can't seem to kind of peel yourself off the bed in the morning. We produced a Revive support as well, and that's high in kelp, high in liver. But what you're holding there at the moment, Joe, thank you, is the cardio support, which we're running product testing on at the moment with I think it's 21 individuals, both male and female. And this is high in beef heart. It also has liver and kelp in it. The blend power there is, we have found that by the virtue of adding kelp into the organs, really helps increase immunity, better sleep, better mood, as well as the organs and their ability to be able to help with your zinc, your copper, your selenium, your vitamin A.
Vitamin D. There's some vitamin D in there, iron, copper, B12, iodine. Yeah, it's amazing. And generally, if the compactness of this, you'd have to eat a truckload of organs to get the same amount, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So this is your go-to. You wouldn't want to sit there and eat a whole plate of offal, right? Like, it's just not the go-to for people, right?
Well, and
it could be possible.
Yeah, it depends how much time you've got on your hands and on your butcher. Because people just simply aren't going to the butcher and purchasing that. So it can be quite hard to get hold of as well.
Yes.
It depends what the abattoir has in supply. But the butcher will go with the local demographic, and it's generally kind of sausages and cuts of steak, right? So you're talking approximately between 3.5 to 4.5 times the equivalent of
go.
the raw product. So that's nutrient density right there. Yeah.
So let's go through quickly a list of people this can help. Obviously, we're talking about people that have been vegetarian or vegan that could possibly make a move over to either the supplement or really have good discussions with their nutritionists and naturopaths about the lack of what they're missing out on, and what we were talking about, all of your symptoms, all of your life story is very important to discuss, because it's a massive problem, because a lot of young people just don't know where to start when it comes to food. Okay, it's bad enough people don't even know what to eat in general, but that's really important, that information. Obviously, the 5 pillars of health, you can't get that right unless you're getting this stuff in as well. Food intolerances, we quickly tapped on that. Obviously, it's good for that. And it can
Good for that.
It helped you immensely.
Where I really was at that point, nothing will help me now. So I was absolutely astounded. And I guess quite regretful that I'd wasted all that time, but it's all a learning process, isn't it? And we spoke about just changing your taste and not really I guess having that, being susceptible to those dopamine hits, and listening to your brain and your gut, and that does take time. So it really, I think I've always been a comfort eater, and it's that whole I guess issues around food and challenges that I've had. It's been that emotional kind of crutch. Get stressed quickly, find something sweet. That has stopped entirely, but that's probably taken about 3.5 years. But I was ill for over 10 years, and it never actually completely goes away. But it's because I'm eating enough nutrients. So that doesn't happen anymore. Everything's working harmoniously. So when you say the types of people that would benefit from the products, I mean, really, obviously, I guess I'm biased, and it won't surprise people to know that it's everybody.
It absolutely is everybody, because we have a list here, right? When you talk about lack of nutrition, we spoke about, and a lot with bariatric surgery people, like they're just not getting enough nutrients because they just can't put in the same amount of food. And when they do make those food choices, it's usually very high calorie dense foods that are still bad for them. And, obviously their gut health works differently once they've had banding or bypass, right?
Less acid, and I think enzyme production as well is affected. So there's a lot of considerations there, and you're absolutely right in size, but the products are bioavailable and easily digestible as well. So
organic.
100% organic, 100% Australian. We use OBE Organic, and they've been our partner from the very beginning since 2017, and our freeze dryer as well. So with all of those, like, quality assurances are in place, and the products are halal friendly as well. And we rely on them to have that certification, and we go through a process with them on an annual basis to make sure that we have all of those up-to-date certifications. So it's a closed loop in terms of our supply chain, but not only that, but in terms of the standards that are in place, and we need to have those standards. And we're a food product, we're not a pharmaceutical product.
That's right. It's food. It's basically food, right? Freeze-dried food in a tablet, right?
That's right.
So menopause support, obviously, because ladies, don't forget, when you're in postmenopause, you stop bleeding. Some of these products are very high in iron, so we'll talk about these separate products in a minute, but always seek advice. But the one thing you've got to do is make sure you don't get excessive iron after you stop bleeding. But you can also suffer from thyroid problems, IBS problems, gut problems, all these things. So this is great for menopause support as well, So which product would you recommend for that?
And mood balancing as well. I'd recommend the female support as an absolute go-to. And with the change in weather, I told you that I'm taking that at the moment. So I'm taking 4 at the moment, because last week I was just really tired, so I just needed that extra little boost. So female support, Also iron support if you're low in iron, for
Right.
women. But the Revive support is great, because that's liver kelp. Yeah. That the same goes for our energy formula as well.
Yeah,
So
good.
I think the top ones, I'd say female support, iron support. You've got your cardio support, which you mentioned, that the
Yeah.
cardio side of things is a real concern too, something to
Yeah.
watch for.
Yeah.
And then the 2-in-1 energy formula, which you can't see here, which is our bestseller, which is essentially our Revive, but it's a different formulation, slightly different formulation.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. When we talk about women's health, just a quick question for the pregnant and breastfeeding ladies. Is any of these products a go-to or not go-to during these phases?
I've written blogs about this because
Oh,
I get frequently asked
yeah.
questions about this topic, and it'll be the perils of vitamin A, having too much vitamin A. Now, I've cited studies
Mhm.
around that as well to say that it is not a problem, but I think with pregnant ladies, I would always suggest that they seek advice from their GP in conjunction with this. We work
Yes.
with Thrive Family Practice and Dr. Carolyn Harris, who we're going to be embarking on a series of talks with from the end of this
Excellent.
month, Recharge, all
Excellent.
about mitochondrial health and taking ownership of your own health, and living a lifestyle that is congruent with nature and with everything that you're practicing as well. So that'll be fantastic. Now, I think working with your GP, vitamin A is a concern, seems to be a concern, but that's been tackled in this blog and will also be corroborated by the likes of Carolyn Harris or
Awesome.
somebody that has that more holistic kind of view. And in addition to that, well, I've also had a few inquiries over the last couple of years about liver, and liver being your liver is to detox, so therefore it's a waste product, so therefore I shouldn't be eating it because it contains toxins.
Right.
So that's another, and it's a perception, and we we hear things from our forefathers and their forefathers, and some things stick, and it is a common misconception.
Yeah.
So no.
I guess it's like
Yeah.
anything, right? Before you start taking something, seek medical advice. But like you said, it is a food product. It's not synthetic. But the only thing you really got to watch out for is overconsumption of a certain iron or iodine or things like that. And you've got to know these things. And I guess, like yourself, we'll talk about where they can find those podcasts. So if you want to know more, we will put everything in the comments.
Yeah.
Also,
Super.
some links to these podcasts, which is really important. As you say, and I say, educate yourself, be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just take the word from one person. Do your reading, do your listening, because it's really important that you know what's going on in your body, because nobody's body is the same, and nobody's body will, I guess, take in certain vitamins in a different way. Everyone's different, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's all individual.
yeah.
Yeah.
So quickly go through each of the individual products there, because I think we've run through all of the people, including vegetarians. If you can get it past the fact
Yeah.
that it's an animal product, you need to be taking these vitamins and minerals in. If you're not having them in your diet, it's really, really important that you find
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So we've gone through
Okay.
the cardio. We've talked about the women's. We've talked about the Revive. Is there any
Yeah.
others there?
We have 22 products in total, ranging from capsules to powders to chunks. And in
Yeah.
our chunks,
What's chunks? What's chunks? Chunks.
it probably wasn't the best terminology. Were snacks, but it's not a snack product.
Okay.
Chunks, subsequently found out, and our biggest market is the US.
Yeah.
Uh, Chunks is very much blowing chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a faux pas. So these are little cubes
Okay.
of
Like stock cubes.
liver.
Stock
Yeah,
cubes.
yeah, yeah. And if you're just taking, that would be the most natural way
Yep.
to take the products. And in total, it would be whatever fits onto the palm of your hand per
Right.
day.
Yep.
Okay, so Olaf and I have those in cooled butter after we've cooked up something in a pan, and I really enjoy them that way. We have the bull kelp, and it's a kelp crunch, and that's actually I'm going to show you.
Yeah. Kelp crunch. That's
So
insane.
here's one
Nice.
I had for breakfast. I don't know, can you see?
Yes, I can see. Yes.
Yeah, so it's a little kind of, you can like a flake that you can sprinkle on top of anything really. It's actually really good on top of yogurt. Doesn't
Nice.
taste of the sea, it just has a mild salty taste, and it's got like a nice crunch, so it appeals to that olfactory sense as well. So there's direct iodine, like 10 times the amount of a bit of raw kelp or seaweed, right?
Beautiful.
And then the beef suet, which is full of stearic acid, which is really great for your brain. It's good for stabilizing the gut as well. And that's the fat that comes around the kidney. So it's the cleanest and most stable source of fat, which is good for people with gut issues and also athletes and bodybuilders as well.
Awesome.
I came up with a granola, and that's gone down really well with people that will have it.
Yeah.
And that's again the same amount on your hand that you would with the chunks. Yogurt, fruit, bit of honey, lots of kelp, mix it up, and it could be the real thing, but that keeps the
Beautiful.
hunger at bay for a long time, so a good 8 hours.
Beautiful.
Yeah, well, liver and kelp, that's our energy formula, but that's in the powdered form. And the energy formula is our best-selling product. It's been around since 2017, though. So, I'm not comparing apples for apples there,
Yep.
because our support blend talks to those common deficiencies. You've got your Revive support. So, yeah, if you're just really feeling kind of lacking in energy, feeling like your immunity is down, that's a really great one.
That's your go-to. Yeah. The big one at the moment, the big topic that I've noticed since being in the fitness realm of social media, in my feed, collagen is a big one. And again, we don't get enough collagen. We don't suck on the old bones anymore, and we don't drink enough soup and things like that. Collagen products, do you have them?
Yep.
Yeah,
We will.
we will.
Yeah, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Keep watching this space.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if I say collagen and DHA combined, yeah,
Wow. You
then
guys
I'm
are rocking
almost giving it away.
it. You're rocking it out of the ballpark. Well, listen, thank you for speaking to me today, guys. I will have a lot of information, a lot of links available to you in this podcast. And thank you, Sally, for your time today. You guys are doing an amazing job, and thank you for getting me onto the product.
Right, I'm honored. I'm honored that you're loving it,
I'm
and
loving it.
you want to tell your people as well. So yeah, yeah, really, really pleased. Thank you.
My pleasure indeed.